If you're training up for a big ride or event, there is always the potential for the odd mishap or mistake to derail your ride.
Yeah, and even the pro cyclists these days, they get things wrong no matter what their experience. And cycling can feel more like an art form at times, can't it?
But what are those key mistakes that experienced cyclists make again and again? Let's take a look. Come on, Manon. Oh no! I forgot to fill my water up! Manon, can I borrow some of yours?
Absolutely not!
Oh, just a little bit.
I don't want your germs.
Go on, yeah, you can top it up.
No!
Do a little top up.
No, I didn't bring enough for you. Get away. Now, running late happens to the best of us, especially when we're going to meet friends or in a bit of a panic, or when you have an event the next day and you're rushing around trying to get everything ready. And well, it does happen to the best of cyclists sometimes, and to some professionals.
So I'm late, Manon.
Connor, why are you late once again?
I honestly, this time, I was on time and then I couldn't find my bottle. And
Your bottle?
My bottle, I was looking all over the house for it. But got it in the end.
That's a rubbish excuse.
But it does happen to the best of us. And I remember once when I was racing, my entire team missed the start of a race. I was the only one from the squad left in the stage. They all had to chase on for about 60k and I eventually saw them again.
How did you make the start and nobody else?
Pure chance. So I rolled out of the bus to check my bike and I saw the race was started. And the last time I'd seen some of my teammates, they were naked getting changed.
So you just left your teammates and...
Well, I had no other choice. I was like,
very...
at least one of us will get in the race.
Yeah, that's true. But to avoid this, Connor...
Preparation is key.
Exactly. The day before your ride or your event, gather everything, have it all laid out, and double check what time your event starts, your race starts,
That's a good one.
or what time you're meeting your friends, so you know you're going to be on time. And also, you know, just leave a few minutes spare in case you can't find your water bottle or, you know, you get lost on the way.
Yeah.
Always be ready for the
Have
unexpected.
your bottles out, ready to go. Come on, Madeline, let's get going. All right.
Here we go.
Last one to the calf's the rotten egg. Woo. Training too hard, probably the most common mistake amongst pros and those with the most time to train, but it can happen to anyone, including those of us who are short on time too. Woo. And go out smashing every ride. If this sounds like you, don't underestimate burnout, and also don't underestimate the power of a recovery day. Taking it easy, cruising, and enjoying a nice tranquil spin. It's not all about smashing every pedal stroke if you want to improve.
On that note, not mixing up your training enough, and I think all of us can fall into the trap of going out doing the same intervals on the same roads all the time, and before long we're going to get sick of it. So every, I don't know, week or 2 weeks, mix up the training you're doing, go out, do different intervals and explore new roads. It is also, I guess, we kind of stick to what we're good at, but sometimes it is really good to work on your weaknesses and try something a little bit new. So go out and explore those beautiful roads.
The main one, the biggie, not eating enough and getting that nosh in your bosh. And it can happen to anyone, especially when you get distracted, because cycling is a lot of fun and it's easy to get caught up in the moment and forget the key rules of survival. I think the best way to avoid this and end up like Manon, bonked to the side of the road without any energy, is to try to get in the habit of eating little and often. If you can do that, then you're always going into your pockets, you're always getting something to nibble on. Plus, don't underestimate the importance of loading up on carbohydrates the day before your ride if you're heading out on an epic, because if you don't, you'll be starting the day on the back foot already. You have to make that up on the ride or potentially not make it up at all. Good luck out there.
Now, if you're training for an event or a race and you get a setback, that could be a niggle, an injury, you could get a cold, you could be sick, and it forces you to have time off the bike, it is so common to panic about missing training. Now, I think this is true for people like me and you, but also pro cyclists at the top. you miss a day and that's all you can think is, oh my gosh, I'm missing a whole day of training. This is going to put me back X amount and all my competitors are training today and I need to be training. And you just really get in your head and you panic about all this training that you're missing. But in reality, surely it's a lot better to rest up, recover, and get back to training in good health rather than panic about it, stress yourself out, maybe test yourself when you're not feeling 100% and make yourself worse. So if you do find yourself having a setback, do not worry about it. It happens to everybody and it is so much better to rest up and recover and then get back on your bike feeling good. I need water. I need water.
This may have happened to me. Manon's quite entitled as well to poke a bit of fun because I made a massive error, but it can happen to anyone. When you're heading out on a ride, the weather, the temperature changes, you're not sure what you got yourself into, or maybe just you're rushing, you didn't pay attention to what was about to happen later in the day. In this situation, I ran out of liquid. I had really high carb mix in my bottles. The temperatures got hot, then there was nothing I could do about it.
You just couldn't stomach that carb mix.
No.
So do you know what a good tip for this is, Connor? Have 2 bottles on your bike, one with a carb mix and one with just maybe plain water or electrolyte, something a little bit lighter, so if you do get that real thirst and you just need to be hydrated, you can just get that down you real quick.
Yeah, that is a good tip, and it gives you the option of diluting that real strong carb mix too, so you can sip on that, have a bit more water with it, and then you're not in the situation I found myself in when I just didn't have anything to drink.
Well, Connor, hopefully you've learned from this mistake and it won't happen again.
Yeah, it won't happen again to me for sure. I've learnt my lesson the hard way and hopefully you won't do the same. So there you go, a few mistakes which everyone can make out on the bike. But what should we ask everyone, Manon?
I think we should ask them what their biggest mistake has been on the bike, because I know you're going to have some good stories. I love reading all your comments down in the section below, so
yeah,
make sure you let us know.
Cycling is a sport where it does lend itself to making the odd mishap. I mean, it's an adventure riding a bike, and that's kind of what it's all about as well. So don't feel ashamed if you do find yourself coming afoul on a ride, because it does happen to us all.
I think I could write a book on all the mistakes I've made.
Definitely, and there's plenty I don't want to admit to as well.
So we'll keep those quiet.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone.
See you in the next one.